Hi guys, welcome down to the new look Monday Night Golf Show, and we are back where it all began at Quest Golf Academy in here at Prairie Sports Village.
And what we're going to be doing today is discussing the US Open at ERIN Hills, where Brooks Koepka came through to dominate the field. Now let's have a little bit of a look at what we're going to be seeing in today's show. Literally almost came out of my hand.
Not only that, we have got a live. Well practiced. Well practiced. That was very good.
That was too much.
So US Open, wow, what an event.
Yeah, fantastic and record-breaking event in many, many ways. It was one of the most anticipated courses, I think, in recent years to actually play on because of the way that they set it up and the way that the USGA lost the bottle a little bit just before the event by actually trimming back the rough. But I think overall it was a success. I think the event was fantastic. I think Brooks Koepka the golf he played was unbelievable. Yeah. It was fantastic.
It's nice to actually see the best player through the event. The event did win. We saw glimpses of incredible play. Ricky Fowler's first round, to go 7 under first round is just unreal. Then Justin Thomas to go 9 under. I mean, just let me quantify that for a minute. This is one of the hardest golf courses in America, and he went 9 under par. I couldn't go 9 under par around mini golf.
Well, he faded a 3-wood into the last 310 yards, whatever it was.
It was unreal.
For control, faded it for control to land it,
unreal.
then rolled it in.
The golf that they played at ERIN Hills, considering the difficulty level before the event, was just sensational. And a joint record winning score for the US Open at 16 under.
When there was a lot of people during the last round that were pushing Koepka all the way, but then over the last 5 holes, he just distanced himself with some supreme ball striking, it has to be said. I mean, 17 out of 18 greens hit on the last round around that course is superb. Yeah. It is absolutely superb.
Well, it's funny because we came in this morning, we were talking about the event, and I was talking about, oh, he's putting. But Pete then made a great point to say, actually, I don't think it was his putting.
No, he putted well in the last round, but overall he was tied 50th in putting. However, his driving distance and his driving accuracy, he was in the top 10. I think he was 10th in distance and then 4th in accuracy as far as greens and regulation fairways. Just brilliant ball striking. And that's what really propelled him to the top because he kept it mostly out of danger. Got a little bit lucky on one tee shot during the last round where he found the walkway rather than the thick rough. But apart from that, you do a little bit of luck when you're hitting it that well. Yeah.
Did you guys enjoy the event? Did you enjoy the US Open? This time? Would you have liked to see more not bad play, it's the wrong wording for it, but more of a struggle at the US Open? Because it's not normally won at 16 under, is it?
No. And it was consistent with several players that
were
scoring really well.
Yeah, so just saying they're consistent with several players who were well under par. And touch wood, it didn't go to a playoff.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't have been probably here today.
This would be a very different golf show. Yeah. This will be full of predictions.
It'd have been quite exciting still.
Yeah.
Because the US Open, it's the only major where if they're tied after 72 holes, they go to an 18-hole playoff on the Monday. It was that event where you just really don't ever expect to score like that. And certainly how difficult the rough was. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the topic of the difficulty and certainly the rough, the fescue as they call it out in the States.
Yes.
Wow, those players were not liking that, were they, at the start of the event?
I mean, it was the thing is, you get a thick rough at the US Open, you expect that, but that wasn't rough. That was a farmer's field at the end of summer when they're about to harvest the crops. It was ridiculous. You just couldn't get out of it. And a few people pointed that out. But
Kevin especially.
But as Rory was saying, the width of the fairways was very wide. So if you were to miss it a long way offline, you've hit a really bad shot. But USGA buckled a little bit.
Did you see Rory's first tee shot?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I reckon
Rory missed the fairway by a
chuckling
while.
inside a little bit at that. And I think the USGA did lose the bottle a little bit. I think they should have kept it because, you know, you expect these little things at US Open, whether it be stupidly fast greens or just running off everywhere, tight fairways, stupid rough.
Or like Chambers Bay, where there was literally bunkers everywhere. If you missed a fairway, you're in rough or you're in a bunker, especially.
You expect that type of challenge. And the one thing which didn't really come through was the distance of the course. So 7,000 yards, 7,800 yards.
Longest in major history.
Yeah, longest. And on the face of it, you're like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Last hole, 650 yards, whatever it was. It's, you know, potentially going to be impossible for people to play. And yet, people were still hitting wedges into greens.
It's scary. The longest driver was the amateur champ, Cameron Champ.
What a great name.
At 3, yeah, he's going to win events. He's going to win tournaments, Cameron Champ.
Imagine just turning up, you're right, champ, yeah?
He is a Sean Foley student, and he averaged, anyone guess, distance-wise?
340.
Not far off. 337. Average.
It's crazy. I saw him hit a shot, I think it was the 3rd round off the 1st, and he hit a low, horrible, heely contact, you know, hand off the club, it, you know, came out that low, you're like, oh God, yeah, it's 320.
Yeah, scary. I actually thought the coverage was really good. I thought they brought in loads of new shot tracers, certainly coverage we got in the UK.
Absolutely, yeah.
The shot tracer stuff was incredible, almost not only on tee shots, but also on iron shots as well.
And it makes it so much more interesting when you can see it.
Love it, so much better. I mean, we've been doing it for course vlogs forever, so why those guys can't do it every single shot, it baffles me.
You got to see Hideki Matsuyama be overly disappointed with amazing shots again.
Ridiculous.
He's my favourite. I love him. He hits shots and he finishes 6 foot away and he's back on the fairway, he's dropped his club, he's fallen to his knees, he's beaten the fairway. It's
he won you £20 off me.
Yes, he was my bet. I got 20 quid off Rick, 20 quid off Liam. Going to be going mental tonight.
Yeah, so Matsuyama had a late charge and actually finished in 2nd place. But it was just a really good event. I think we need to talk a bit about Tommy Fleetwood, friend of the show.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because Tommy Fleetwood, wow, what a season he's having.
Brilliant.
He's back with Alan Thompson, his coach. He's just killing it this year. He's won the Abu Dhabi Golf Championship. He did incredible at the Golf World Champs when he came second to Dustin. He's now come 4th and picked up a lovely paycheck of $500,000. This event was the highest first place prize fund that has ever happened in a major. Over $2 million. It's
crazy.
First place. I mean, that's unbelievable, isn't it? And we're talking about, on the subject of money, we're talking about how players are motivated and not motivated for money. I think the major motivates them. I don't think they have to pay him $2 million, if I'm honest.
No, I think that was, as far as a fee, I mean, obviously it's amazing. Yeah, for Brooks, I mean, God, he ain't going to be saying, oh yeah, it should have been lower.
Yeah.
But it is, it wasn't too high, but it was unnecessarily high. People play the majors to win the major. Yeah. You could hold the majors for no money.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I almost think you should. I almost think you should. And I almost think you reinvest that money back into the game. I almost think if the majors are the big ones, the 4 majors.
Reinvest it into Strimmers at ERIN Hills.
Well, yeah, I think
they're going to need it.
There's a massive sale on today. Luke's a greenkeeper and he's saying there's going to be a massive, you'll be picking them up. Oh, here we go into ERIN Hills, I'll pick up some Strimmers. I actually think the 4 majors should be no money, and I think that money should be pumped back into the sport. Because you look at the subject to money and Steve Elkington and Rory little shindig online. Yeah, that was a...
Loves a twist, doesn't he, Rory?
Yeah, he gets in them, doesn't he?
A bit of drama, doesn't he?
It's nice to see he's reading them.
Yeah.
He's reading the tweets. So Steve Elkington mentioned how he feels that Rory McIlroy has become bored, which I think is a ridiculous statement. Yeah. They're saying once you get over $100 million, golf becomes boring. Rory responded, actually, it's $200 million.
And then he posted a picture of his Wikipedia page, didn't he, with all his wins.
Yeah, his wins and his achievements, which is an incredible list and far more than Steve Elkington has ever done. So I thought it was a weird statement. It was interesting to see the top 3 players in the world did not make the cut.
Yeah, absolutely.
Has that ever been done, Rob Potter?
Chance to redeem yourself here as the Monday Night Golf Show historian?
I think since world rankings has begun, I don't think that's ever happened.
Yeah, I think that was what I saw. Rob, research, come on, please. First time in what?
Robot. 40 years.
We've got Alexa on the go helping us out. We knew Rob wasn't going to be up to the task.
Also, I've got a quiz for you, and I've got a quiz for everyone here as well. With Brooks Koepka win, it makes him the 7th consecutive first-time major winner. Can you go back all 7?
Christ.
So I'll give you a clue. It was from when Zach Johnson won the Open. So after that, there were 7 new time winners.
Okay.
You can't look at Google. So let's go PGA 2015.
Okay. Oh, no, that's going crazy. Well, last one was Sergio.
Okay, Sergio.
Jimmy Walker.
Are you going, which ways are you going?
We're going reverse. Jimmy Walker. Dustin Johnson.
Kind of got those wrong way around, but yeah. Who won the Open last year?
It was Stenson.
Stenson it was. And then the Masters
Willett.
last year, Willett.
Willett.
And then the PGA 2015.
Jason Day.
Yes, done. That's your 7.
That's it.
So yeah. So Jason, you go Jason Day, first time winners, Brooke Koepka as well.
Please.
So you
do
go
you want to give me a challenging quiz next time?
Jason Day, you go Danny Willett, you go Jimmy Walker. Was that the right way around? Jimmy Walker, yeah. You go Henrik Stenson, you go Dustin Johnson, Danny Willett, Sergio Garcia, and then Brooks Koepka.
Oh, right, okay.
Are we going to see it for the 8th time at the Open?
Well, I think with the amount of amazing players that there are now, the thing is there are so many fantastic players and there's no one who's dominating. And when you get that mix, you do get final rounds where there's all these players up for contention. Matsuyama, I think, has probably got a really good chance.
I think Matsuyama is going to win a major with 100%.
I won't put him down for the Open. Not really his type of
I think
game.
he can play any game. I do, honestly.
I'm not sure.
Anytime when he thinks a disappointing shot goes to 6 foot.
Yeah.
I think Ricky Fowler's got one in him.
Yeah, definitely.
I actually could see him winning the Open. I feel like his style is definitely there for the Open.
Yeah, you got Justin Thomas. I mean, the good thing is these are all young guys as well. You know, they're not coming into form late. They're all mid-20s. They're all eager. They're all keen. Lots of money in the bank and
Too much money.
Too much money.
Too much money in the bank.
So you know what they might
If any of them need to donate any, to take the stress off the money, we're more than happy to
invest in the Monday Night Golf Show
There we
and
go.
Rob's retirement party.
We should also just mention about the 63 that Justin Thomas has because that is the lowest. Is it US Open score ever or matched US Open score?
It was the
Matched.
lowest match, but I think I'm right in saying that the par at ERIN Hills was lower than when Johnny Miller did it. So I think it almost is better. If that makes sense.
It was a lower score.
Yeah.
There was like, it's hard as comparisons, but you're always going to get comparisons.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Between Johnny Miller and Justin Thomas because it's 63's lowest scores or 9 under whatever the lowest score is. It's incredible golf.
The golf he
I
plays
just
is
can't understand how that's achievable. That shot that he hit into the last was just sensational. That 3 wood that he hit was just outrageous.
Over 300 yards fading it in.
Oh, I just love it. I think he's going to be a real good contender. Patrick Reed had a bit of a late charge yesterday. Matsuyama, Ricky Fowler, unfortunately, just dropped off. That's a real shame. It was interesting hearing Butch Harmon in the commentary booth. We get him in the UK. It was awesome hearing Butch. And Claude Harmon III is the coach of the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So he coaches Brooks Koepka.
And Dustin.
And Dustin, 27-year-old Brooks Koepka, who is now, the major winner, and he will continue to be fighting strong all the rest of the season, I reckon, for many, many years to go as well. They've all got like 15, 20 years in them, haven't they?
Yeah,
That's what's
absolutely.
scary. It's what's incredible.
Unless they get bored.
All that money.
Too much money. Brooks is going to retire now.
You've got bored of it, haven't you?
I'm sick of it.
Let's get some questions in from the floor about the US Open. Go on, Dan. By the way, Dan does all the awesome cartoon characters on Twitter, and his company there on his hat. Go and check it out because he does some great charity clothing, which we are all in support of. So good work, that Dan.
Yeah, as you've mentioned, the top 3 wasn't in contention really, and obviously the missed cuts as well. For a course that was really long, why did you think they struggled? Because all them 3 players are big hitters as well.
Yeah, it's a really good question.
I think the consistency of their seasons has something to do with it. So obviously Rory's been out injured quite a lot. Dustin's had a few injury problems and then just had his next kid as well. So he hadn't probably prepared how he would normally prepare.
Jason Day with losing his, mother had been ill?
Yeah, and being injured himself. So those top 3 players in the world, and that's been shaken up now. Matsuyama's moved up the rankings. But
Is he 3 now?
2.
Oh, wow.
I think. So, fact check. So those players haven't had the best preparation in the run, well, not in the run up to the majors, but since the majors have been on. have just been a little bit out of form. And it is that thing at the moment where there are so many great players in the world who can all win. I mean, if you have a look at this year, Matsuyama's had like 3 or 4 weeks where he went mental and won loads. Justin Thomas, 3 or 4 weeks where he went mental and won loads. Dustin Johnson, who seemed untouchable. Jason Day, at the end of last year, seemed untouchable. They all go through these phases, but none of them can, at the moment, find that level of consistency to really push it out throughout the season.
I think Dustin, without missing the Masters, he would have continued that.
You would have thought
really going guns to metal. But you're right, the long hitters, there's no reason why they shouldn't be up there, but none of them quite hitting form. Quite hitting form.
Do you think with the course setup, the preparation prior to how it was set up, the communication between the players and the USGA wasn't good enough? So when the players turned up on the course, they panicked a bit.
So Luke's a greenkeeper, so Luke will probably know this. For me, I felt like they shouldn't be informed. I feel like that is an advantage for the players who get there early. I feel like it's an advantage for the players who prepare, and the guys who aren't prepared and turn up, they're probably in for a bit of a shock. But I don't think they should have pandered and rolled over and let the players tickle the belly. I think that could have been they should have stuck by their guns there. It seemed a bit weak.
They should have, but what I love about it is the reason that they changed the course was because of social media.
Yeah.
This wasn't because of the chats that they had behind closed doors. This wasn't Kevin Na going up to USGA and saying, "Excuse me, Mr. USGA, I think the rough's a little bit thick." This was him going on Twitter, going on social media and saying, "Listen, this is what it's like." It was Lee Westwood,
by the way, though,
Billy
on that
Foster swimming through the rough.
On that social shots, I think Kevin Na could have hit those out. He was a bit soft on hitting them out.
Well, he's not the biggest lad, is he? But it's just, I think they saw the attention that he was getting and felt that they had to react. And this is the way it's going to be now. You can't.
I was going to say that. Do you think this is going to be a common
You can't put
thing?
social media back in the can. If, let's say next year, US Open, someone gets on a green in a practice round, they drop a ball and it runs off, ridiculous amounts. That green will be watered if it gets enough
we saw it
attention.
last year at Chambers Bay, or 2 years ago at Chambers Bay. Was that now? 2 years ago?
2 years.
2 years ago.
2 years, yeah.
Like the players there, like doing ridiculous puts and complaining about the surface, the putting surface. It wasn't good enough. Going back to, I think some players though will also follow other players and will learn about the golf course before they've even arrived. So if they would have been following Wesley Bryan, who arrived two weeks early.
Too early,
yeah, because he didn't do particularly well, unfortunately. Wes. He's a great player, but didn't particularly do well. He'd already identified the rough issues 2 weeks earlier. So I think it was already building up back then. So I think once the players actually properly arrived, they were like, wow, yeah, this is proper serious.
Do you think that's why the big hitters suffered then? Because it was down to consistent playing more than actual distance?
I think Rory was put his foot in his mouth a little bit by saying it's 60 yards wide. If you can't hit it through there, go home. Because he did after Friday. He went home, unfortunately. And that was kind of one of those things. But it's I don't want to see him struggle, but I feel like that was a bit too easy in the end. The fairways actually did look pretty wide. It didn't look that damaging.
No,
But say that. If Erin Hills wants us to go and play there, I'll be happy to break 100.
Yeah, I'm not playing off the backs.
No, not at all.
Our chance of accessing those speed pockets, not great.
No. Hold that thought on the tough test, because you're going to show us how to get out of that in a minute, aren't you? Before we go to that, we're going to nip downstairs into the golf studio, into Quest Golf Academy, and talk about Brooks Koepka, the way he hit incredible shots. There was no standout shot that won the US Open.
Just beat everyone into
I mean, it would have been easier if Justin Thomas would have won, because we used the 3-wood on the 18th, but he didn't. Brooks Koepka hit 17 out of 18 greens, so we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to get our fantastic studio audience potential to win this £200 check from Golf Bidder using 5 iron sets that have won the US Open. But Pete, expert at getting out the rough. We did a little video. You don't go in it very often, but when you do, you're good at getting
that's
out.
the problem, I'm in it that much at the moment. It's like I have to be.
So Pete shows us how we get out the rough. Once we've seen that, join us, and we'll talk about Brooks Koepka's shots that got him to win the US Open.
So similar to what the guys at Erin Hills faced, I am in some pretty thick grass, and it is this type of shot that a lot of people find very difficult to deal with. But if you follow a few simple rules, it can make it much easier to get out of this type of lie. Now, first of all, I've got about 150 yards left into the hole. However, because of the way it's lying, because it's in this horrendously thick rough,
I'm not going to be able to get a longer iron on that. So my 7-iron, that is going out of the window. I don't need to use it from this lie. I'm going to use a wedge to make sure that I have enough loft to get the ball rising. There's no point hitting it well if it's only going to be going a couple of feet in front. So I've got my wedge to get the loft, I've got the wedge to get the height and to try and get it out of this lie. Second thing, I'm going to be gripping on much tighter to the club. As this club starts to enter the grass, it's going to want to wrap around the hosel and try and twist the club face shut. So for a right-handed golfer, get it more off to the left-hand side where the face is aiming at impact. So by grabbing on a little bit tighter, by holding on firmer, I'm going to be able to hold that club face in a much more neutral position as I start to come through impact. Ball position, I'm just going to put a little bit further back because I want my club to be descending into impact a little bit more. I don't want to be hitting up on this shot too much because it's going to have more chance to grab onto the grass before impact. So with a wedge, I'm going to put the ball position just back of centre, normally it's centre. I'm going to lean a little bit of weight onto my front foot. I'm going to grip on tighter and slightly further down the shaft, hinge my wrists a little bit quicker going back, and then just hold on for absolute dear life. And that has actually worked out really, really well. I don't know what they were all moaning about. Easy.
Out of the rough and back into the Quest Golf Academy on a nice flat lie, where we're going to be talking about some of the shots that won the US Open. And like Rick was saying, there was no massive standout shots, but one of the most impressive things yesterday was Brooks Koepka, 17 out of 18 greens in regulation. And therefore, he just really beat the field into submission because he gave himself that many chances to actually get a birdie. That was the most impressive thing. So I'm going to have a little bit of a chat about his swing.
Yes.
A little bit of a conversation about why it might work slightly more inconsistently than some of his competitors, but also why it is so powerful.
One of the big things as well is the clubs that he was using. He's out of contract now, so he has no club contract. So his set is a real mixed bag, and this has really paid dividends for Brooks because I think he's got TaylorMade driver 3-wood, he's got a Nike driving iron, he then goes Mizuno irons, he's got Vokey wedges and Scotty Cameron putter.
It's like he's won lots of money in the medals
throughout
the year.
You know what it's like? It's like he's a YouTube club reviewer.
Yeah.
And just has a mixture of everything. So I think one of the things that's going to show a lot of players, the Nike players that have come out of contracts, some of them have signed big deals like Rory, but a lot of them have stayed out of club contracts for a reason.
Yeah, yeah.
And for Brooks, it has definitely paid dividends because he's just killing the game.
Absolutely.
So the Mizuno irons that he's using, he seems to be super consistent with them and long off the tee and then consistent. His putting, I thought his putting was amazing. He was 50th in the week, which is quite incredible.
So his putting was good. But it's just the fact that he gave himself that many opportunities that he didn't need to be. If he was number one in putting as well, he'd have won it by about 10 shots.
Yeah, exactly that. So, Pete, he hits quite a powerful golf shot. Yeah. And he generally shapes it with a little bit of a fade.
Yeah, he's got an interesting swing. It's very similar to a lot of players at the moment. As you get up to the top of the swing, he's got a little bit of a bow happening. He's got a little bit of a break down his left arm, a little bit of a bow with that left wrist, which then he comes down actually with his hands very steep with a slight shallow behind him of the shaft. But when he gets into this position, he turns down and onto the ball. He's got a massive amount of shaft lean, but then it's really stable. There's hardly any real flip, any real release until about this point in his through swing. So he's delivering the club down onto the ball and he's hitting through with so much power that with his driver, with his longer clubs, tends to be a bit of a fade. But with his irons, he's that compressy, that straight down to the ball. A lot of them do fly very straight and long, so long.
There's two big advantages to the way that the powerful hitters of the modern day play, your Dustin Johnson, your John Rahm, players like that, is when they can create so much power and they can hold that wrist angle. They can hit it as hard as they want without the fear of it going too far left. Yeah. The miss for those guys is going to go anywhere. It's going to go a little bit to the right, and that's generally less damaging. They don't curve it as far to the left-hand side. Yeah. So Pete's going to demonstrate a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so Pete's going to hit a 7-iron into a green here. Greens at the US Open were super, super firm. And that's a lie. They weren't super firm. They had a bit of reception to it. But
they got a bit more US Open like on the last day.
Yeah. So a bit of bow and then down and holding that face.
Yeah.
A little bit similar to what you're working on anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's holding the face and then it's just using the rotation of the body to square it up at impact.
Yeah.
And like I said, it is a very much a modern day
Don't be
way
scared
of
to
coaching.
heckle here. If it hits a bad one.
My hands have just got
I bet they have.
really sweaty.
I bet
And
they have.
it's a warm day out here. You know, my back's a bit stiff.
Oh, wow. How many excuses? So we're only on a little par 3 here. There should be no reason why you should miss the green.
So I'll try and play a fade. I've managed to fade it. Started a bit right though.
But that's a controllable miss.
Yeah.
That's a miss that we saw a lot of the players take on when, if they were going to miss target, or certainly with an iron, they were moving it slightly to the right.
Yeah, and certainly, I mean, that for me, having studied the course in depth, I know that on this hole that's a miss.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, I'm in my US Open mindset.
This
as
isn't
well.
ERIN Hills, by the way. How many of you guys kind of like strive for hitting a draw or a fade? Is there a particular shot shape you like seeing these days?
More of a fade at the minute.
More of a fade. I feel like it's changed a lot in the last 5 or 6 years. It's very much gone from... Oh, that's a great shot.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you a clap for that one, Peter. I'll give you a clap for that. That was a good shot. I think back in the day, draws were very popular, and now you see a lot of the great players fading it. I think fade's almost overtaken. Do you agree?
I think with the advent, it's always been seen, if you draw the ball, you hit it longer. The thing is with launch monitors, what's that shown is, that's not always the case.
It's not the case at all.
It's not the case. I mean, the launch monitor data, what it shows is that a club delivered going left and a club delivered going right, if it's at the same speed with a consistent loft, it's not going to make a difference in distance. So
There's
that's why
none
you
of
see
that
these boys smashing so
idea
far.
where there's more topspin on a draw and things like that, because that's just, it's been proven not to be the case. Very good examples there. So Brooks Koepka is just incredible iron player. He holds that angle, he holds it through the ball, he creates loads of power. His miss, if anywhere, is a slight right shot, but it doesn't seem as bad. A lot of the best players in the world don't want to turn it too far to the left, and that's exactly what he does. He then blends that with distance, control, and then good putting and short game, and major winners are starting to be born.
Absolutely.
Let's now see if we've got any major winners upon our fantastic audience members. When we say major winners, I mean £200 golf bidder check winners. We're going to be nearest the pin with some US Open golf clubs. These are all golf clubs that have won the US Open through the years. We go from Angel Cabrera, Graham McDowell, Justin Rose, who else do we have in there? Rory McIlroy. And we're going to see if our audience members can win this fantastic check and get better than Pete has just done there.
I was just having a look at the different places on this hole. Well, my second shot was good. That was fine.
So we're going to see who can win this awesome check. Okay, so first contestant up, we're going to go with Andy. You ready, Andy? What's your handicap, Andy?
18.
18 handicap. So he's got 3 attempts. He has got to pick a different set each attempt. Nearest the pin wins. Let's do it. Okay, so Andy's first pick is this tailor-made RBZ, which Justin Rose used in the long irons in 2013. He's going to have a little bit of a feeler in here with the 7. Good luck. That's hit the tree. And then come back and hit a path. Okay, not the one for you. Let's go next. Where do you want to go? Callaway or...
Yeah, Callaway.
So now he's going for Graham McDowell's Callaway 7-iron from 2014.
Skimmer.
Neither set are very good for you there, Andy. We've got one more.
6 you want.
6-iron.
6 and 6.
So we're going to go for the hardest. In fact, no, 1 second. I've got one more. Harder than that one. These are Rory McIlroy's tightest irons, MBs.
All I needed.
Okay, last attempt.
Come on, Andy.
It's getting up there, it's getting up there. The good news, you're nearest so far. 28 yards away from the flag. 28 yards. What's it, Alfie? Next up.
Right then, next up we have Dan. You want to pop on? What are you fancying?
6-iron.
6-iron, okay. Which 6-iron are you going to go for next? First?
Go for Rory's first.
Go for Rory's, okay. So this is the MB. So first up, Titleist MB 6-iron. Rory's club. Oh, that is a little bit heavy and a little bit left. It's okay though. I was going to say wonderful art bunkers, but I didn't even get that far. So TaylorMade, which TaylorMade? The RBZs or the Tour Preferred? Tour Preferred. Oh, sticking with the blades. I like it. 6 or 7?
6.
Oh, what a strike. That's a great strike. Just heading slightly left, but yourself looking to be closer so far. Nice. Bunker. Go for next. Any 6. I'm going to pick you Angel Cabreras. You seem like a man who'd like a barbecue. Let me take that back off you. Oh, is that going to cut back round? That is fading back round. Be the club. Go on, go.
Ah. Okay, third contestant up, so 40 feet. Even though it's in the water, we're going to call it at the moment. We're going to go Luke. Greenkeeper Luke. What do you play off, Luke?
18.
18 handicap. Coming up, I reckon 40 feet is definitely cheaper, at least be on the green, one shot. What are you going to go with first? Blade or Forgiving? Forgiving, good choice. TaylorMade 6. There you go. It's pin high. It's over the tree. Bunker. 21 yards away. Rory McIlroy, 6 iron. There you go, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh. Have you got all the car path all the way?
Okay, one more. Where are we going? Ping or are we going Callaway?
Go Callaway.
Okay. Rob's favourite? Oh, this could get there. This could get there. This could get there.
Get up.
Past the water. Oh! We're going to give it though because it's 36 feet. I know it's in the water. We're getting desperate.
Okay, next up we have Scott. Scott, jump on board. Name, age, where'd you come from?
Scotland.
Okay, that's all we need to know. Right, what are we going to go with next?
I'll go for the Titleist.
The Titleist 6?
Let's go for a 6.
Okay. Scott, immaculately dressed. Brogues, brown belt, no glove. This is going to be the slippiest golf shot you've ever seen in your life. Oh, that's a good line. Just needs to go a little bit.
Oh, a lot.
Someone get this man an iron brew.
Nice shot.
Okay, so Scott is going to stick with the same club.
Yeah, I like that.
Bending the rules.
No, wow, okay. No one's going to argue with the angry Scottish man. Well, that is high, that is launching. That is arcing, that is tracking, that is travelling. That is going to go on the green. Oh, look at that.
4 feet.
4 feet away.
Even Scott surprised. I mean, slightly bending the rules.
I would say to breaking point.
Well, because you've only stuck, you're only allowed 2 shots.
Right.
Next up. Right, so 4 feet is leading so far. Scott only got 2 shots because he decided to stick. At the moment, everybody has been waiting for the final contestant. The guy that's hit more golf balls in this bay than even me myself. Mr. Rob Potter. 30, what's your handicap, Rob?
13.
Oh, for God's sake, still.
12.6.
Let's get in there. Right, Rob is up next, 4 feet to beat. Let's do it. This is your time,
Okay,
this
sorry.
is your time. I mean, silly question, what are you going to go with first?
I'm going to go with Rory.
You have Callaway here.
I'm going to go with Rory.
Okay, 6 or 7?
I'll have a 6, please.
6 iron it is.
I want your popcorn into
Come on, Rob. This is it. Got it. 4 feet to beat.
4 feet. Yeah, no, press me up.
Oh, be down it. Kick off that same bank of Scott. No. Short. Nice hit though. Where we go next?
We'll go with pink, please.
Ping 6.
Pink 6.
Ankel Cabrera.
What a pink 5, please.
Ping 5.
Pink 5.
No one's gone 5 yet. In fairness though, everyone's pretty much finished short so far, so I think he's wise to go 5. Tracking, it is tracking. Big bounce.
Go.
Oh, bang on. If you'd have hit that correctly, that would have been spot on. We've got one more shot, Rob.
Well, go on. I may as well go what everybody else accused me for. Let's go for Callaway 5.
Callaway 5. Got Callaway 3. Got Callaway 5.
Callaway 5.
This is it.
Sounded great.
Incredible strike. Pushed out right though. He's not going to get the distance. Oh, 23 yards wide. Out of there. I think he came second though. So Scott takes the spoils. He only needed 2 after cheating the rules. Well done, Scott. Well, we'll start with the referee's decision on this. So I think we're taking the victory. Some good hitting there. Tough clubs. Some of those blades were tough. Okay, so me versus Pete, final one. We've got Rob on mic cam. This is where you can give it us now.
Right, Rick, what club do you want?
I'm going to go 8-iron, and I'm going to go the one that's got the best grip. For tacky hand conditions, I'm going to go tailor-made, tour preferred.
Oh, swinging left a wee bit.
Hit off Scott's bank. No. Did we say 1? I thought we said 3 each.
Did you say 3 each?
I think we
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I'm sure we said 3 each.
Rick's rules. Oh no, I missed the green.
There's always Rick's rules.
If this hits and goes close, what's the chance of being 2?
Every chance.
It's better. It's a better line, that one. Is he going to hit the bank? Is he going to use the bank? He's got the bank. He's going to kick the bank. Oh, that is unfortunate.
Did we say 2? Did we say 2? Let's go 3.
This green's like a bucket, by the way.
I'm going to go Callaway 8.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. That's too good. It's too short. Ah! So what's that to beat? 41? 41 feet?
Where are you going first?
I am going to go... I 87 before, didn't I? But that was with the yellow ball. I'm going to go...
8-iron's the club.
I'll do it in reverse. I'll do the 8-iron that you just hit, the Callaway. That's high.
That's not it though. No.
Right. Oh, what an awful club that is. These just Callaways, Rob.
It's just not got enough power. That's all it is.
Okay.
7-iron, Pete?
I'm going to go... Where's my ping 8? I quite like the look of that. I'm going to go ping 8. Hopefully miss that bank. So high.
It's on it though. It's on it. It's on it. Oh.
I'll have one more because, you know, that was okay, but it wasn't up to my normal high standards, for being honest with you. I'm going to go... What's the other one I've not used yet? No one's used
Rory's.
Rory's. What are Rory's?
Titleist.
Never think we've got too many clubs.
By the way, guys, you can win this bag if you jump over to Instagram and Twitter. Only one more day to go. You can win this bag. This bag. You can win it. That bag. This bag you can win on Instagram and Twitter. You jump over there at Rick Shiels PGA. 1 day left to go. Right, where are we going to go? Rory 8-iron. Slippiest grip in the world. It's horrible, isn't it?
How bad are these?
The grips are awful.
Golf Pride discontinued these, didn't they?
I think so.
Good decision. Right. Just keep hold of the club. I can literally feel it squirming around. Oh my God, literally almost came out of my hand. Look where that's finished.
Bit of rock. Winner, winner. Scott takes the prize. He brought it with him, he takes it back home. Guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the Monday Night Golf Show. Bigger, better than ever before. We love making it. We love having audience members down. The next one is the day after the Open.
The big one.
Put it in your diary. It'll be on Pete's channel. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel by clicking the big red button down here. Subscribe to Pete by clicking his face. Easiest way of saying it. Comment below. Let us know who do you think is going to take the Open. And did you enjoy the US Open? Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. Loads more to come. And we shall see you next time.
Absolutely. And guys, thank you to our wonderful studio audience as well.
Awesome.
Great.